vending machines at the hotel and stuff, and get riding.
Thank you, Charlie. And I'd like to welcome up James to tell his story.
How you doing? My name's Jim. I'm a veteran. I became homeless because of my mental health and my alcoholism. Yeah, I went to the First Step In. They helped me learn what a sober life should be like, how it's easy, how they got me in touch with like outpatient counseling, therapists, all that, and it's just amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim, for sharing. Now, my boss would like to say something. The Executive Director of Community Development Agency, Michael Dion.
Good morning. I want to thank everybody for coming this morning. Just a couple of thank yous to Mayor Sutter for coming today, his support to CDA, and his support to the Homeless Coalition providers. To put this together every year, there's a lot of work that goes into it, and there's a select few, there's a lot of people that work on it, but there's some that need recognition. Camara, who works in my office. Rosa Medeiros and Mike Bryant from Second. Janet Rashadi. Denise Fortin, and all of the members of the coalition, and also BCC for hosting this every year. The Fall River Homeless Service Providers Coalition is a group of many agencies and individuals that have been working together to better the lives of Fall River residents. These agencies consist of dedicated individuals and volunteers who work long hours and who use their resources to change the lives of the less fortunate. A couple of months ago, the coalition thought it would be important to recognize on a yearly basis one individual from the coalition that exemplifies the words community champion. A community champion is a person that emphasizes community service and inspires others to get involved in the community. A community champion makes it a priority to highlight and explain community issues and helps the community to prepare for future initiatives. A community champion is someone who strives mightily and selfishly toward a goal that benefits many rather than themselves. Today in this room, we are very lucky to have a community champion among us. This person has redefined the meaning of community service. He is someone with a vision of a better Fall River, a city where people help one another. He has worked tirelessly to feed the hungry and to provide shelter to the homeless. This person acted on his vision and pulled many of us along with him in changing the way people thought and acted towards the less fortunate. He's going to be upset with me, but I'd like to have Reverend Donald Mier please come to the podium. I got a lot more to say about him. For more than 4 decades, Reverend Mier has been a champion for social justice and a passionate advocate for the less fortunate. Whether it's providing a warm bed for the homeless or a hearty meal for the hungry, or to speak with anyone who is seeking counsel, the Reverend is always there to serve. He was the founder of the Greater Fall River Community Soup Kitchen and the Fall River Food Pantry. On Tuesday night, his church hosts the Branch Community Supper, which offers a nutritious meal to more than 100 low-income and homeless people weekly. He was the driving force in the creation of the United Interfaith Action, a faith-based organization that promotes social and economic justice. The Reverend also serves on the Mayor's Task Force to End Homelessness. Most of us are aware in this building today that the state building code regulations that affect shelters caused us to close our long-standing overflow shelter at the Salvation Army. Seeing that many of the city's homeless did not have proper lodging during the winter months, Reverend Mayor developed a network of overflow shelters through the faith-based community. This network of overflow shelters has housed the city's homeless population over the last 5 years during the winter months. In the winter of 2014 to 2015, working with coalition members Stepping Stone, Solomon's Porch, United Methodist Church, First Baptist Church, Church of the Holy Spirit, and Master Builder Ministries, the overflow shelter serviced 121 unduplicated homeless individuals. Because of the main shelter, the First Step In, being at capacity, if it was not for the overflow shelters, these homeless individuals would have slept on the streets during one of our harshest winters. Through the years, Reverend Mayor has been a proponent and advocate of creating a larger homeless shelter so that the overflow shelters would not be needed. As you are well aware, this initiative is in the process and groundbreaking will be happening very soon. Reverend Mayor has had such a dramatic impact on so many people, the coalition felt it was imperative to name this yearly award. It will be given yearly as the Reverend Donald S. Mier Humanitarian Award. It's my honor and privilege to present for the first time the Reverend Donald S. Humanitarian Award to the Reverend Donald Mier.
Oh, thank you very much. And I was wondering why all the folks from church were here. And friends from the YMCA, and friends of the street, and so forth. Now I know. I asked them to be in prayer for the home situation, but you're walking your prayers. Well, I'm just humbled and honored, overwhelmed. I know, Mike, you asked me to offer a prayer today. That's what I came prepared to do. And I wanted to just offer reflection from Mother Theresa, which I think will be instructive for us all. We all know that God has identified with those who are hungry. We know that God has identified with those who are sick. And we know that God has identified with those who have no clothes, the naked. And God has identified with those who are homeless. And God has identified with the poor. Right? We know that. And Mother Theresa reminds us of that. But she goes on to say that let's remember that hunger is not just about food. It's about love. To be somebody to someone. That's what hunger is, isn't it? Amen. Be someone to somebody else. And to be naked, she says, is not just about clothes, but it's to be bare of someone who cares, to be bare of compassion. To think that to be bare, to be naked is to think that no one knows who you are. And she talks about homelessness. That's not just being without a roof over your head. But that comes from having no one to call your own, to call your friend. So today we are about making connections, aren't we? Connecting to one another, not from top down, but as equals. We're all on the God's earth together, aren't we? We all breathe the same air, don't we? And we all drink water, maybe different types of bottled water, but we all drink the same water. We all have the same needs. And today, let's consider a blessing that we are here together, reaching out in love, compassion, because we have been touched by someone else who's loved us and shared compassion with us. Blessings on all those who have planned this event. I blame you, Janet. I think you invented this idea from somewhere in the federal government said, do it. But the locals, you know, Mike and Rosa and all the folks from the Homeless Service Providers Coalition, when I go there in a monthly meeting, I'm so, Mary, I'm so overwhelmed by your tirelessness. You never get tired of doing that which is right. So blessings on all of us as we continue this day, getting connected to the resources that are here to help. May God bless each one of us forever and ever. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Mayor. Well, that ends our speaking program. The breakfast is to your right, and go on in and enjoy the vendors and get what you need. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
I think that's when you think it away. You know something was up when I showed up. Yeah, I couldn't. Something was going on, I didn't know what. I told the show, I'm a dead giveaway. Well, we got you.
Yeah, oh man. I told you about that one.